Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Making these videos, it's a lot harder than it looks on YouTube for sure. I can't figure out where to put the camera. Anyway, if you're new here, my name is Avalon and you have reached Adventures with Avalon. And what I'm doing is within 6 months from now, I am going to be moving to another country. So these videos are to document that process and for me to just stay accountable. While I think about, and as I've been thinking about what I'm going to say, because apparently some people are actually watching these videos, which is great. But like I said earlier, I didn't expect anybody to really watch them. I want to make sure that I'm doing this real. I want to be authentic. And I didn't know whether I should leave parts out or what, because life happens, as we all know, and it happens to all of us. And we have good days and bad days, and we have great things that happen, and we have not so great things that happen. And I think it's important that I just put it all in here for me to remember, and also maybe for you if you're struggling with some things and thinking that might keep you from making your dreams come true. I'm hoping maybe it will show you that, you can do anything, I guess. So this week was very good for the most part. I'll start with a high note. I have been doing absolute battle with an organization who remains unnamed for probably since 2012. All out. It's been horrible. And I decided at that point that I was going to fight back, because a lot of people don't have the resources or the time or the energy or any of those things to fight. And it's not okay. It's not okay that there's an organization in our country, in our lives, that we are guilty until proven innocent. That is not how our democracy is supposed to work. And that we can be bullied and things can happen to us that just shouldn't be allowed to happen. So 2012 onward, I fought the fight, and all those things happened. I got bullied. People would show up to my house or my place of residence unannounced. I got liened and levied and all bank accounts held and all kinds of things, just really bullied. Multiple letters. One day in April, a few years ago, I got 28 letters on one day. But I fought because I was right. And sometimes you just have to do it. And I wasn't going to back down. And at times I felt like I couldn't win. So I did hire attorneys. And they were horrible. They were just awful. So if you're ever in this situation, don't hire an attorney. At least not these firms that say they're going to help you out, because they don't. They'll take your money and run. And that happened 3 times. Twice in the initial stages. And then I finally worked things out. And then they came back at me again, even harder. They put me on a no-fly list. I wasn't able to get my passport renewed, and I missed the marriage of 2 very good friends of mine. And all kinds of things. They liened and levied my sister's car because she has the misfortune of having me on it as her co-signer. So yeah, I got bullied a lot, and I got taken, whatever you can imagine. And then on Friday, well, I guess, let me back up just a little bit. A year ago, I was like, enough. I've had it. I'm done. And I reached out to any advocacy group I could find to say, I need help. This shouldn't be allowed to happen. And why is it happening? And why is it continuing to happen when I have so much proof that, what they're saying is wrong? I found this group, and I got a call from the nicest person who was formerly on the dark side, and he moved into the light and now is working with people like me to get issues resolved. And it took a while, a lot of paperwork, a lot of backtracking, a lot of looking at things from years and years that have gone by. And on Friday, I had my time in court, and I had a decision that ruled 100% in my favor. Which I hardly can believe it myself, honestly, because it's a long 14 years or whatever it's been a long, long fight, and it's exhausting. And now by the end of March, everything is supposed to be okay. I'm going to be able to get my passport renewed. I'm going to be taken off the no-fly list. I'm no longer public enemy number one. My sister will get her car pink slip back, and God almighty. Anyway, that is such a coup. That is so great. It should never have gone on this long. And why it's allowed to, again, I don't understand. I don't understand a lot of things that are happening in this country, and why that particular organization is just allowed to have carte blanche. Not okay. Anyway, yay. Now I can get my passport. I knew I was going to win eventually. I could tell by the way this gentleman was talking to me that things are going to go my way. And he really listened to my story and looked at the evidence, which is something that nobody else had done. So anyway, yes, I will be able to get my passport renewed by the end of March, the beginning of April, so I can continue my journey out of the country. What would have happened if that didn't take place? I don't know. I don't know. I might have just had to, get myself somewhere, and I don't know, but at least I don't have to do that. Think about it. So that was a big thing, big thing. So life does happen, while you're making plans and while you're having dreams that you want to dream. I mean, I couldn't start a business. I couldn't buy a house. I couldn't even buy a car. Fortunately, I love my vintage car, but nonetheless, that has been resolved. Next up, a month and a half ago, I was diagnosed with AMD. I had never heard of it before. I didn't know what it was, age-related macular degeneration. And my eyesight was great in December. And then by January, I couldn't see well out of my right eye, thinking, oh, cataracts, because, cataracts happen. And my sister had them, and my mother had them, and I thought, oh, that's an easy fix. So I went in and had it checked out, and it's not that, and it's progressing rapidly. I have wet AMD, which I'm assuming is worse than dry. I have dry in my left eye, wet in my right eye. And so I'm losing my eyesight, which is something to take in, definitely. I got an injection yesterday in my eye. Excuse me, everybody. It's the desert. It's so hot all the time. It's 83 today. It's miserable. Anyway, I got an injection in my eye. Sounds a lot scarier than it actually is. There's no nerve endings in the eye, plus they numb it pretty well. I was a little freaked out, but still, no problem. Apparently, these injections are to slow it down or maybe even help to reverse the process of the degeneration. I am one to remain positive. I think that there is something out there, something in the world that will help me keep my sight for as long as I possibly can. One of the reasons I'm going to Europe is the architecture. I am crazy about architecture, any kind. And I want to see the buildings, and I want to see. So that was a little bit of a shock. I didn't expect it. But again, life happens, and we just have to roll with it. It's not going to stop me from going. Even if I am to lose my sight, I have other senses I can use, and so it's not going to stop me at all. I've been learning Albanian. It's interesting. It's difficult, but it's really fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm taking it slow. I'm doing about a half an hour a day. And so far I can say yes and no and hello and goodbye. The craziest thing, though, you guys are going to love this, is that this means no and this means yes. So that's going to be hard to undo after all these years. And po means yes and ya means no. And again, sounds the opposite from what I'm used to, but it's enjoyable. I really like learning about new cultures, so I'm very excited about it. Now, on another thing that's great, I got a call. I'm super lucky. This lifetime I chose not to have children or to be married, and that was my choice. And I like having my life to myself this time around. I have 7 kids. Well, a lot of them are adults now that are in my life that I call my godchildren. I got a call from one of them 2 days ago, and she said that her parents had told her about my plans and that she is very interested in coming along or meeting me over there. I am so excited about it because she's 17. I've known her since before she was 0. And I adore this young woman. And we haven't been able to spend a lot of time together in the last years. She's across the state. She's on the other coast. And although I try to get in for somebody's birthday, there's 4 girls, at some point, I'm just not able to be there enough to see all the activities and really make a difference. So even she pointed out that this will be a great opportunity for us to get to know each other again. So just to hear that is extraordinary. I'm so excited. I'm hoping that she continues to feel this way and looks into the country and sees what the possibilities that I see. And, maybe we traverse the world together. So very, very excited about that. So I will tell you more about that as things roll on. Okay, this is getting long. A couple things. So the rest of this month and March is about health. My primary goal, the rest of the stuff is just, logistics and what I'm going to sell, what I'm going to keep, all that kind of stuff. I need to be healthy. So I started a full out exercise plan. And if you guys know Dr. Mike Diamond, he's on YouTube, like everybody, and he's got a wonderful protocol that I'm following, and so is my lovely friend, Breezy. She's following it as well. We're doing it together. It makes it easier, but it's a whole thing of exercise and way to eat and all of that. I'm doing Tai Chi and yoga, and I've been doing yoga for a long time, but I need to do more to really get my stamina up and get my strength up and be in the best shape I can possibly be in to make this trip. That will be the one thing that will hold me back if I'm not in good shape. And it's necessary, especially if I'm going to try to keep up with a 17-year-old. So there's that. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on this week. I am getting the paperwork back to this lovely man that he needs a few extra things for me so we can put all that to bed. I'm going to get a couple more rounds of these shots in my eyes, and we will see. I will keep you posted on how I'm doing with that. And yeah, that's what this week is going to entail. And the rest of the month, I'm going to be doing a lot of back and forth. I've got some work to do this until the end of the month. I'm helping some other people out. And then back here to really start focusing on getting packed for Hawaii, which is coming up in 2 weeks. I'm going on a trip. I need a little bit of a vacation. I want to be able to think out my plan. I'll probably do a video or 2 from there so you can see that. But I am just as excited as I've always been, even more. I think every time I read something or hear something about Albania, I I get so excited. So thank you for listening. Thank you for those of you who have seen this from the beginning and are watching in my process. I really appreciate you. And I really appreciate I got some super sweet comments. Thank you for those. That was unexpected and but so welcomed. Thank you. And I can't wait to see you on the next one. Bye.